Oasis Audio presents Classic Starts, Frankenstein. Retold from the Mary Shelley original by Deanna Mcfadden. Read for you by Rebecca K. Reynolds. Chapter 1. Captain Robert Walton meets Victor Frankenstein. The Arctic wind chilled me to the bone as I stood on deck looking out at the frozen land around me. I was in the North Pole. My lifelong dream to come here was now a reality. But at what cost to me and my men? Our ship was trapped on the ice, and we did not know if we would live or die. I felt foolish. The entire trip had gone terribly wrong. My need to see a part of the world untouched by human beings had turned my trip into a complete disaster. We had ended up so far north because of my own actions. I should have taken the first chance to turn around, but I refused and stubbornly drove on. I didn't care how unhappy it made my crew. My spirit was broken, but I was determined not to quit. Time passed very slowly. Most days I wished I had a good friend to keep me company. I wanted someone I could talk to during the long, cold nights. I missed having friends more than anything else in the world. Yes, I had a crew of great men on board my ship, but they took orders from me. They were not my friends. By the next morning, the situation had gotten worse. The ship was completely surrounded by ice. We could do nothing but wait. By mid-afternoon, the fog cleared from the sky, and we were able to see more. White snow and ice stretched out from the ship in every direction. One of the men pointed out a strange sight in the distance. We watched as a sled being pulled by a large man headed even farther north. The whole crew watched until the man and his sled disappeared on the ice. We turned to one another and asked, "Who was that? What was that?" As far as we knew, there were no people in this part of the world. The next morning I came out on deck to find my sailors talking to someone over the side of the ship. I leaned over the side and saw a man floating on a piece of ice. All around him were pieces of a broken sled. The ice must have drifted toward us in the night. My men tried to convince him to board our ship so he wouldn't drown. Something told me that this was not the same man we had seen yesterday. That creature had looked wild and savage, not entirely human. This man was European, and he spoke with a thick accent. "My name is Victor Frankenstein," he shouted up. "Before I come on board, can you please tell me where you are going?" "I am Captain Robert Walton," I answered. "This is my ship, and we are on a voyage to the North Pole." Frankenstein was wrapped in many layers of fur, but he still looked cold. "You must come on board. You will freeze out there." The man nodded. A couple of my sailors threw down some rope and helped him climb on board. Frankenstein was almost frozen and in a terrible state. He was pale and thin, and it was clear that he needed a good warm meal. I could tell that he had been through a hard time. Even before we could get him into a warm cabin, he fainted. We wrapped him up in warm blankets and made him drink a cup of hot tea. He got better slowly and then ate some soup. When he started to look...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?